Detty December is when Africa becomes the mecca to its diaspora and beyond for an entire month. It is debated who came up with the term, but I am going to credit it to Mr. Easy, the Nigerian musician that actually owns the trademark. Regardless of who invented it, the tale of Africans going home for the holidays is a tale as old as Africans going abroad for work, and it has become a huge deal. An entire month of parties, festivals, weddings, and everyday enjoyment. Detty December has become the next biggest thing, and everyone is talking about it. Packing for Detty December is complicated because not every culture knows casual. Straightforward example, so you get what I mean. I think we can all universally agree that Americans are known for, being casual. We're known for our athleisure, our yoga pants, and the fact that we'll go outside like that. When I first moved to Italy, people told me that, Italians dressed up more than Americans did. And for the most part, I would agree. Where an American would wear athleisure or maybe sweatpants, an Italian would not. I haven't lived in the US for a really long time, so things may have changed, but that's how it was. That's how I remember it. And so casual in America is this, casual in Italy is this, and casual. Do you want to see casual in Nigeria? Do you want to see a Nigerian woman's casual? Casual in Nigeria is this. This is called a boo-boo, and it is the Nigerian woman's equivalent to yoga pants. I think many people would agree that this is not casual. This is quite literally a gown. Nigerians know this as well too, because if you go to the market and you ask to buy one of these, they're going to say, do you want to buy a gown? But it kind of underscores the point. There is no casual in Nigeria. And if this is what people are wearing on a normal day, if this is what people are wearing to the supermarket, imagine Detty December, which is quite literally a month of activities, concerts, parties, and everyday special occasions. So you have to be very strategic with your packing. This is my bag setup. Still have things that I need to put in actually. As I said, this is my duffel bag. I actually haven't started packing it yet because I may go to the gym tomorrow. If I'm being really ambitious, I might go to the gym, but I doubt it. And this is the suitcase. Inside the suitcase, you got to be smart. What to bring to Lagos, what to pack for Detty December? Definitely the scale thing. It'll save you a lot of heartbreak and confusion. That one time that I showed up at the airport with my bags overweight, it was because I didn't have that. Meanwhile, I saved myself the last time because I had that. 10/10 recommend. Given the hype, tickets during Detty December are insane. I personally saw people pay upwards of $3,000 to go back to Lagos this December, and even I paid $1,500, booking well in advance. That being said, if I'm going to be paying 1,500 euros for a flight back to Africa, best believe that money is going to an African company. For the last 2 years, Ethiopian Airlines is the only company that I've used to fly back to Nigeria for Detty December. I don't usually have issues with them, though this time I unfortunately lost my Apple Watch at their airport. My first stop when I land in Lagos is always Prince Ebano. Prince Ebano is the Nigerian response to the American drugstore or Target, the European parapharmacia, in a little bit the Korean skincare. They have everything, and I mean everything. But I especially like them for all my beauty, hair, basic beauty supply needs. I've been getting in Nigeria for the last 2 years. This video isn't sponsored by them. I just really love the fact that, again, with response to the American drugstore makeup or the Korean skincare routine or the European parapharmacia, in Africa, in Nigeria, we have our own thing, and I love that for us. Here we are today on day one of the Káàbò Káàbò experience. All of my clients are coming in today. 2 of them came in yesterday, and so we have a really packed schedule of things to do. One client just came into her hotel, so I'm actually going now to get her welcome kit, her welcome box. We are teaming up with Beauty Hut Africa to provide all of our guests with these beautiful welcome kits that have all of these Nigerian-owned beauty and wellness brands. And then I'm meeting my clients that came yesterday at their brunch just to make sure that they're settled in and everything goes according to plan. And then hopefully I will be able to go to this like industry brunch later with some of the like Nigerian influencers. It'll be interesting. So very packed today, but we're excited to be here. For those of you who don't remember, I started a company a year ago called Káàbò, and it is essentially a company that makes travel to Nigeria easy. I don't call us a travel agency because I feel like we're so much more than that. We've organized family reunions, facilitated relocations, investments, and key networking. We're basically a one-stop shop and bridge that connects Nigeria to its diaspora and the wider world. But this trip is particularly special because it's my largest Káàbò trip to date. We've brought 10 people to experience Lagos's famous festive season, Detty December, with us. Our group ranges from MBA students to young professionals and even a mother and daughter who are coming back to Nigeria for the first time in 20 years. So you'll be following me this week as I take them through our program while also creating content and doing my own local networking thing. I've probably bit off a lot to chew, but anyone that knows me will say that I work well under pressure, and though I am trying to stop, I have to say I agree. I never thought I'd be that friend from Europe that forces you to put a few museums and art galleries into your itinerary, but here we are. Kidding. I don't force anyone, but I highly encourage it because Lagos has some really great museums and galleries, which I always say that spending a few hours in undoes 18 years of whatever you think you learned about Africa in the West. Fundamental stuff, especially for people from diaspora. The 2 we visited on this trip in particular were Nikkei Art Gallery and the John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture, but I highly recommend the Lagos National Museum if you get a chance. After spending the day out with my clients, I did make it to the influencer event, which was super interesting. It was interesting to be at an influencer event in Nigeria. Unfortunately, I didn't cover it enough because I was so busy speaking to people, but next year I'm definitely going to do a deep dive on Chi's annual Christmas brunch. What day is it? I think this is technically day 2 of the Káàbò experience, and we are going to Cocoa Beach with the group. I think I'm doing pretty well if you consider that some hours ago I had no electricity.
Mama ay nga dai watiskinga nuane foda kudus nga ay kauda ashute kauda nga aba washidenya mama ay nga dai watiskinga.
I honestly didn't even notice the cows as weird, and this comment reminded me of how Nigerians say Nigeria isn't a real place. I've been talking about the beach club experience to my friends here in Italy, and even though we're all people that are pretty well traveled, apparently no one has ever experienced anything like it. And then it dawned on me that the beach house experience in and of itself is one of those not real life things in Nigeria. It doesn't exist anywhere else, and we just think it's another activity. Let me explain. First, I have to get a little technical for you to really understand the experience. Lagos is on top of a lagoon, and around this lagoon, you have the mainland where most people live. Then you have the island, which is the newer part of the city, and finally Ilashe, which I can only really describe as a strip of, I think, mostly undeveloped oceanfront. So what's been happening is that individuals and companies have been buying properties on the oceanfront and developing them to create these beach houses. By now, you have lots of different beach houses where each one has its own personality and budget. And so going to the beach house has become a recreational thing to do for Nigerians. Everywhere else, people go to the beach, as in they'll drive or walk to the coast to relax on the coastal areas. And while you can do that in Lagos too, the beach house experience is different. First, none of these beach houses are reachable by car, and you have to take a boat to get to them. And that by itself is an experience. You see the port of Lagos and the industrial side of the city fade off into completely undeveloped marshland and forest. Even the habitat is not something I've ever seen in real life outside of this experience. So you take your boat to the edge of Ilashe, and then you usually walk to your beach house. Again, what you find inside the beach house really depends because every beach house has its own branding. I can only speak for the ones that I've been to, which are Salt Beach and Yolo Island. Salt Beach, at least for me, seemed a bit more independent in the sense that you bring your own food, and while there are activities to do in the beach house, it's more dependent on the activities that your group brings with you. For example, when I went with my group of friends in January, we ate, we played charades, we danced, we went to the beach, and we stayed by the pool. We also socialized with the other groups of people that were there because everybody kind of travels in groups to subsidize the cost of the boat to get to the beach house. Anyways, it was literally so much fun. I guess I could kind of compare it to Mykonos in the sense of the vibe, but the uniqueness of this experience is that you're doing it in the middle of nowhere. You're partying on a beach in the forest, a 45-minute boat ride from any form of civilization. You're essentially on a private island, and you definitely feel like you're in another world. The beach house that I took Keisha to is called Yolo Island, and what's cool about that beach house is that it has a lot of the infrastructure for you to have fun already. It's going to have the games, it has a restaurant so you don't need to bring your own food, and it has horses. It's just more recreational, so not as dependent on what you and your friends bring and invent. Both beach houses had amazing all-day DJ sets, and again, this is Nigeria we're talking about, so these aren't your average DJ sets. This was top-tier musical entertainment. Just think, I saw that a few weeks after Keisha and I went, Central C and Ashake went to Yolo Island to film their music video. That is the caliber. Anyways, you get to spend the whole day in this otherworldly place doing essentially whatever you want. Then you can either decide to go back home in the evening, or most of the beach houses have on-site accommodation so you can pay to stay the night or however long you want to stay and can afford. Then you take the boat back to the real world and do it all again next time. And before you know it, you're thinking that this was normal, but it's not. It's one of those many peculiarities of Lagos and Nigeria.
We decided to come down to the beach.
It was at this point that I realized I have way too many clips to fit into one vlog. Let me know in the comments if you guys are curious to see more of Lagos and what we got up to as a group. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I'll see you in my next one.
Are you Lagos Market one-on-one. What do we need to know?
It will frustrate you.
Don't talk.
Don't talk. Get to dinner. Don't listen to them.
Don't talk.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.